are. Hey, race fans. I'm Brian Smith. This is Shelly Liskeye, and this is the Last Lap Live. This is the maiden voyage for this show. We'll be talking about a lot of stuff at Fremont Speedway and local racers and stuff. And this is kind of the brainchild of Rich Farmer. He wanted to do something different, and he got a hold of us. Well, obviously he's a hold of you all the time, but so he decided he wanted to do this show, and I'll let you tell how you started.
My only input was I thought there should be a female presence, not necessarily my female presence, but I was a big fan of you, so I thought that you were a really good choice.
Well, he sent me a text in December, I think, and said, hey, you want to be a host of a show? And my initial thought was, no, I don't. I don't want to do that. But I asked him, I said, who's going to be the co-host? And he mentioned you. I'm like, all right, well, let's talk. And so we came out to the house there.
Well, it
and,
makes me feel like there was worse choices then in your mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
Good.
Me.
We're off to a good start.
So anyway, we spent maybe, I don't know, a couple hours out there talking about stuff and
Everything but radio, TV,
yeah,
everything but.
Exactly. And I learned pretty quickly that when it comes to Rich Farmer, promoter of Fremont Speedway, when he wants something done, he just says, this is what I want to do, and then he gets people involved and he says, you make it happen.
That's right.
So we've done a lot of work. We spent a lot of time, and we've tried to put things together the best that we can and try and come up with a show, something that's a little bit different. Shelly and I are definitely not show hosts. We don't know what we're doing. It's kind of like you and I are rookies in a new division, and we've never raced anything before. So
Definitely.
if you'll give us a break on that and give us some time to get going and learn how that we want to do things, and we're going to make a lot of changes, I'm sure, a lot of adjustments to try and make the show better. So, like I said, we're going to try and have a few guests tonight. We're going to have Greg Smith and Dwayne Hancock from Hoosville and the Tiffin Mall, the Northern Ohio Sprint Car Show, are going to be on. And then R.J. Willie from Bowman Auto Group.
It was always a good time. RJ's always got something to say. We won't be at a lack of entertainment for Mr. Willie, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can get him off in time, that we'll be able to get John Ivy on the show.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to let John sit out there for nothing.
So John Ivy then will be our third guest. So we got a lot of stuff happening at Fremont Speedway. A lot of that stuff you know more about than I do this year, but we've got an exciting schedule. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of special events.
I'm super excited about the schedule. I think it's a real aggressive schedule. I'm anxious. I'm ready to get going. I know you're not. I'm ready.
Yeah, I know we had a couple warm days there, and it felt pretty nice. You were probably feeling like we're going to be racing soon.
Well, you know, I told you the story when I was down in Florida. I was pumped to see my kid, and I got there, and I got to feel him fire the cars, and I was standing by, and I could feel it in my heart, and I could smell it, and I knew at that time I was ready to come home and go racing.
Yeah, and me on the other hand, I got a lot of stuff to do yet, trying to get the race car together. We've been spending so much time doing this that I kind of put that behind a little bit. But I got a little taste of the methanol smell the other day. I went out to Gressman Power Sports, and they were dynoing a motor so that we could do a little bit for that opening theme that we have that Rewire Media did for us. They did a great job. I'm very grateful of them to do that. But they were running the motor, doing some pulls, and it was like, yeah,
can't beat it, can ya?
That smells good. It definitely got my heart going.
Some people don't get it, but
got me ready to start doing some racing.
I'm ready.
But so this last weekend, we had a chili cook-off that benefited the
Fast Point Fun.
The Fast Point Fun that you put together.
It was kind of already, you know, Brian Attulo and those guys started it, and Farmer wanted to kick it off again, and I dabbled in it a little bit, but it was kind of a group effort, I would say. A little bit of everybody helped out.
They did it a few years ago. They didn't have one last year, right?
I think they had intended on having one, and they only had like 3 people sign up for it, but I think we had, 16, 17 chilies?
Yeah, there was a lot. We got some footage from there. We can show that while we're talking about it here. We need to turn Shelly's mic up a little bit too there, Stephen. But there you can see the racetrack. It was a pretty looking day, but the snow was still on the racetrack, and we weren't ready to go racing yet. That looks like you got a long way to go, a lot of work to do.
We
yet.
actually had the snowmobiles out and buzzed around there a couple times this winter.
Did you? That sounds like fun. You didn't call me to do that?
You know, I should have.
I'd like to put some laps in doing that. laps are laps. So inside the Hall of Fame, if you've never been in the Hall of Fame, there is a lot of really neat stuff in there, a lot of really neat items, pictures and helmets and driving suits and all kinds of stuff. And when you're in there during the races, you run into a lot of people that'll tell you a lot of stories and stuff they remember.
And I was happy with the crowd that came out. We was a kind of a short notice deal and something that you're trying to revive and bring back, so you never really know, but people came out and supported it, and I thought it turned out real well.
I thought so. There was a lot of really good chilies too. I got to go back after we dished out some. There's my wife, she put a chili together, and
I think you had some for supper that night too, didn't you?
We had some for supper for sure, and I think we had some the next day too. We had plenty of chili left. But there was some good stuff. Past winners there from past chili contests, and Fourth Turn Freaks made it. They're a fan group that sits up in Turn 4 at Fremont Speedway. They're pretty excited fans up there. And two of our judges there, Mike Linder and Scott Gressman, and John Horn from JLH Construction was the other one. They really took it seriously.
They did. I was impressed when Scott Gressman walked in with his notepad and his pen, and I thought, oh, this is going to be all right. He's going to take it serious. And how happy were those two little ladies that won it?
Yeah, the Country Kitchen. If you go to the pit concession stand, those two ladies from the Country Kitchen are back there, and I see them every week. And
well, Chris came with the place. Chris has been there.
Chris Repke.
Yes, Chris has been there forever. So the look on her face when they actually announced it, I thought was pretty cool, because they just did it to come out and have a good time, and they were pretty excited about it.
Yep, I made sure that I was following around the judges the whole time, so I was trying to see who was winning, because I was trying to talk them into, giving a couple extra votes to my wife's chili.
Oh, I see how that works.
But I saw Rich Farmer in there. He was doing the same thing. He was following around here and there, and he was trying to put in some hints. There's the Country Kitchen group there. He was trying to put in some hints for them to pick his chili.
Then they disqualified us.
Did they?
Yeah, told us we just weren't able to. They couldn't call ours a chili because it wasn't red.
Yeah, it was a white skillet chili, right?
It was.
Yeah, see, there's Rich there. He's he's working on them.
Votes, doing what Rich does there.
Yep, and so there's your winners there. They picked up a plaque, and I think Chris here, she says how she put the ingredients in. It's pretty much she just threw it in there.
Opened up the cupboard and started tossing them in.
Yeah, that's what came up, and it came up a winner. So there's your other winner for the other division. That's John Ivey. He wins everything at Fremont Speedway, so I think he even gets a feature win for that.
I don't think John actually cooked the chili though. I think that was Joey Pash's chili, and Joey left for Florida that morning.
Right. So Joey Pash was actually the winner.
He was, not John Ivey.
Right. And there we had the jalapeno eating contest, and one of our guests tonight, two of our guests really tonight, Greg and Holly Smith, with Joe Irvin and Rick Clare, your winner there. He not only did he win the competition, but he also took home the rest that the other people didn't eat. So that's one of the Fourth Turn Freaks.
I did not see that.
He was pretty happy about that.
Last thing I seen was Holly Smith walking through the parking lot with a can of something cold on her lips as they were leaving, just like holding it.
We'll ask Greg about that when he comes on, because he actually talked her into doing that. She didn't really want to do it. I saw him telling her to come up, and she was kind of trying to hide behind the chili. But so we're going to take our first break here, and we're going to come back with Greg Smith and Dwayne Hancock, and they're going to talk about the Hoosville and the Northern Ohio Sprint Car Show. So we'll be right back.
Taco Bell's XXL steak nachos are not a big meal for 6'10" NBA star Kevin Love. Even with 3 times the steak, they do not overwhelm Kevin Love.
Okay.
Nor do the XXL steak nachos intimidate Kevin Love.
That dude's huge.
But you are not Kevin Love. Taco Bell's XXL steak nachos. A regular sized meal for Kevin Love. A XXL sized meal for you.
Great, Professor, so I want to use the square root method here, right?
We're making it more convenient to go to college. Learn on your own terms at Terra State Community College, with day, evening, weekend, and online classes that make college work around your life. Register now at terra.edu.
Okay, cool. Towel?
All right, we're back. Welcome back to the Last Lap Live. I'm Brian Smith, and this is Shelly Lisky
Still me.
over here. We're joined by Greg Smith on the end, who needs to move in a little bit, and Dwayne Hancock there. I told you you're going to have to sit on his lap. These guys are
No.
these guys are in charge of the Hoosville, Ohio deal, the Injured Drivers Fund, and the Northern Ohio Sprint Car Show. Getting texts as we go here, we got a lot of producers here and directors that are
That's
trying
good.
to make this show better. So I guess we'll start by telling us what you guys do. What are you a part of with the Sprint Car Show and the Hoosville deal as well?
Well, the Hoosville deal, this is our 11th year starting, and we've helped 45 different drivers now, and we've passed out almost $40,000 to, local drivers. It's mainly Ohio deal. We have branched out a little bit and helped some other guys like Joey Saldana and Shane Emilio and a few guys like that too. So just trying to keep it a-flowing and helping anybody we can.
And what's your part in that, Greg?
I'm the one that goes and gathers the junk.
He's the junk
Rick,
man.
Rick
The
Shear
junk man.
calls me the king of scrounge. I'm the guy that goes up to the guys that flip in the middle of a race, and I have to deal with them when they're angry and upset and wanting to.
It's funny because sometimes he'll be like, Dwayne, you go over and do that one because
Yeah.
that guy's really mad. I guess because I'm bigger, he thinks I can take a hit better or something.
I can imagine that's a little touchy to go up to somebody right after the race, but then you can't wait because somebody else will get it.
If you
So-
wait, I mean, you're gonna have some kid just sneak up there, grab it, and off they go.
Right.
And
And move in just a little so people on the TV
it's-
world there can see it.
Yeah.
You know, if the kid grabs it and off he goes, well, there goes our profit.
Profit, well, it's actually not profit, but it goes towards helping the drivers out. So,
You guys do some other stuff too, don't you? Besides injured drivers, I've seen you guys do some really cool things. Just maybe like some quick qualifying or.
Oh, yeah.
Some,
Yeah, we do.
just passing out some extra
Sometimes,
stuff.
yeah. And that was our whole deal. When we started this, it originally was going to be like 80% driver fund, then 20% everything going back to the drivers, like quick times, heat races, maybe a feature bonus for hard charger or something like that. Then we took a lot of static for that because people thought we was taking it out of injured driver fund, and we really wasn't, because a lot of it comes out of Greg and I's pocket. And then some people was giving us this and that, and so after about 3 or 4 years of that stuff, we're just like, yeah, we're just gonna do what we want to do, and on that end of it.
Seems
and
like it's easier for people to find the negatives and good things than
Exactly.
the good and good
Yeah.
things.
But yeah, everything. I mean, every single dime we take in goes to drivers. Injured drivers fund, or a lot of times we take money out of our own pocket to do the sponsorships, just to do it.
Jess Steiger last year was the first time that we had the Hoosville, Ohio Best Appearing Car Award, and we took $50 out of our pockets, and that's what we gave to him, and just because
Yeah,
he
for
had
the mall
a pretty
show.
sharp looking car at the mall. So
right, that kind of stuff makes a big difference
It
too.
does.
Oh yeah.
Even
Well,
$50.
and that's kind of what we talked a long time. We was all friends. We just kind of as race fans, and this, what can we do to help the track, help the drivers, help our area, and. Yeah, the injured drivers fund is definitely something that needs to be done, but we wanted to do, like you say, $50 to this or $50
Because a lot of
for
times
the
those guys come out and they put their time and effort, and it's good. It's nice to do something like that back
Oh
home.
yeah, and we'd like to do it for everybody. We've dabbled even doing some of the trucks. We helped Art Ball a little bit. Then we did a hard charger for the trucks one time, and Kent Brewer won it, and he handed it right back to us. He goes, "I love that you guys did it," but he goes, he says, "That's my donation back to the injured fund," and then those guys will do that, too. So
He's a good guy to do
oh yeah,
that.
it was funny because he was real funny. He was cool. He goes, "I love you guys did something for the trucks." But he says, "You know what?" He goes, "I'm putting it right back in the." He goes, "And I'll put this part in the injured drivers fund." So.
Kent is one of the funniest guys at the racetrack.
Oh yeah,
by the way, always late, always trying to find a spot pulling in late.
no, Chester's always later.
Oh, Bill Rose is good at that at sprint cars. They're hot lapping. Here comes. Bill's coming.
Oh, Ken is though. He'll come up to draw, and he's always late. I'll have 6 weeks of checks for him. He has no clue that they're there. None whatsoever.
That's somebody that just likes to race.
Making adjustments on the fly. What are we doing here?
Gotcha.
All right. Thank you for helping us out here for the sound. Like I said, this is the first week that we're doing this, and you guys are the guinea pigs. You're the initial
All
guest
right.
here.
They all said
So.
speak more into the microphone too. They have a hard time hearing you.
All right. Well, we just have to turn us up, and we're tight in here, so we'll just have to.
Well,
I don't want to be
yeah.
doing this and
You
blowing
said
it
you wanted
out.
the
So
best looking guys for the first show. So
I did, but I couldn't get those, so I got.
So
a
we
hold of
filled
you.
in.
Well, I brought Dwayne, but we know I'm the better looking of us too.
Yeah. Oh, the commercials I do at home, I see I'm used to this because we do commercials for my work, and they got 4 of me because I'm always so busy, you know. I'm just, you know, that type of guy. You've seen me, Brian. I'm always busy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always, which one's that? And they're like, oh, that's a good looking one. So that's kind of an inside joke there.
So, Greg, you're doing the Northern House Sprint Car Show. It's your first year for this, correct? Because
Yes.
Steve Scoop Hartzell's done that for the last 13 years. Is
Yeah,
that? 13
Steve,
years.
Steve did it for a lot of years. And then last year I seen him on pit gate. I was on my way to work one morning. On my phone while driving. Shouldn't do that. But I'm looking.
You're not?
And I'm like, oh my, no, Steve. So I hurried up and said, I will do it. I didn't ask my wife, and I know I'm supposed to ask her, and I didn't ask her, but yes. So
Who I am sure is the co-pilot behind all this, because I personally know behind all this stuff, there's always a woman
yep,
who
she
keeps
has.
things in line.
She every single night she has to tell me, you need to make sure you're doing this. You need to make sure you're doing this. Make sure you're doing this.
I
She's the one
figured
that
as much.
drives me to continue going. So
Like me, my wife is my memory. I don't have
Yeah.
a memory at all. She remembers stuff for me.
well, if things weren't attached, I'd forget those too. But so she always reminds me everything to make sure I'm doing, and takes care of me in that aspect. But yeah, the mall show, it's going to be identical to what Scoop has always done. The only things, well, I shouldn't say identical. We're giving away money this year.
Right, I hear you have a sponsor for
We
that.
have a sponsor. JLH General Contractors is going to be our title sponsor. We'll have little stickers that say JLH, put it on your car, and then you're eligible for the money that he's giving away. That will go to the 3 trophy winners. Aside from that, I'm having a weekend-long 50-50 drawing. Whatever money's generated from that is getting paid out. I've got prizes that I'm giving away to cars that show up. So that's the only thing that we're changing.
Changing for the better.
Yes.
Is there a cornhole tournament this year? You had one a few years ago. Dwayne was in charge of, and
Yeah.
You know,
it turned out pretty good for me. But
I
it
have
was a
to,
good time.
I have to go to the mall and see what room
Yeah.
we're going to get.
Okay.
If we can have a room that's big enough at the mall, that might be something that we're going to think about. I know something that Holly's going to try and get accomplished is maybe like coloring contests for kids. We've got to get more children involved in this. So,
Right.
Yeah, we could maybe do a cornhole deal if Dwayne gets out of bed on time on Saturday morning.
How about Tim Simulators? Those guys going to be down there this year?
unfortunately, with scheduling, Tim's
His
event
expo's
is
day.
going
Yeah.
on at the
Oh, okay.
same time this year.
All right.
As soon as I get 2015's dates from Rex, I am going to get a hold of Tim, and we're going to schedule for next year where Tim will have his and we'll have
Yeah.
ours.
Tim called me 3 times his last 2 weeks apologizing, and actually he still wants to do. Last year he did a little bit of something for us down there at his deal, so I think somehow I'm going to get down there to Tim's deal after our auction, then back here for our deal
That's
on
what
Sunday.
we'll do. We'll do
Yeah.
it because he puts on a nice.
Oh, yeah.
He puts a lot of work
Well,
into
we got
it.
this deal going on Sunday at Shell Shuckers.
Yes.
With the mall show too, where we're gonna have coupons to pass out at the mall show, and then was it 15%, 20%?
Yeah, between the hours of 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock on the Sunday after the mall show, Shell Shuckers is going to donate 15% of all food sales
Awesome.
straight
Yeah.
to the Injured Drivers Fund.
So
That's great.
if I get the Hoosville Ohio Company jet, it'd be a lot better.
So I have to ask you real quick because I've put on these big events and I know how much work goes into it. And this is your first year. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
This
Good,
is a,
bad?
this is a learning experience. Like I said, both of us, Holly and I, are going through this together, and it's definitely a learning experience. I think next year will be even better.
Yep.
But so
It's a
far
lot.
this year, I think we're doing good.
It's a lot. I commend you for taking it over because it's a lot of work putting those deals on.
So Holly's standing here in the background, Greg's wife. And what do you think? Are we thumbs up or are we thumbs down, or we're thumbs up? So that's good. You're
That's
good
what
so
us
far.
women do, though.
You're doing good, Greg.
Yeah.
You get a thumbs up, you're doing good.
That's the real answer that we got
Yeah.
there. If she says
Yeah.
thumbs down, it doesn't matter what you said.
Well, she's the better looking half, and she's the smarter half. So whatever she says is probably correct.
The smarter half. I mean, look who she.
Another
kinda came
thumbs
here
up.
with.
This is only happening because this is being recorded so that she can go back and look at this later, that you said that, and use it for either.
Yeah,
you know,
this
good
will
or
be used
bad.
against me for the rest of my life. See, you admitted it.
I actually starved for entertainment because she married you and you guys had me for a best man. So I mean it's pretty
Well,
scary.
that's like the Beavis and Butthead show.
Yeah, especially if we do our karaoke duet together.
Can we do that? Do we have any music here?
No,
that we can play? Sure.
you guys know.
That's not rated for video.
So did you do karaoke before or after the front desk story that you're gonna tell us about?
Oh,
I think we did do the first time before that at my New Year's party.
Yeah, we did it at Dwayne's New Year's party, and it was a big success with a friend of ours. Yeah, it was a real big success. He grabbed his daughters and left. And then
Yeah, it's not family rated.
we
karaoke.
only karaoke one song, and that's My Dingling.
Great.
So-
Chuck Berry action there.
Yeah,
Yep.
And
and I look like Chuck Berry, so
when is the dates again for that?
For the mall show?
Yeah.
The mall show is going to be March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And we are going to put cars in on the 20th, the same as we always have on Thursday night beforehand. And
What do you have so far? I mean, how's it looking for car count?
right now I've got 3 go-karts, and then I've got 4 sprint cars as of right now, and that's in about a week and a half's time taking calls. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Make sure you hit Ivy up out there.
right.
Actually, John Ivy is number 5 because
Is
he
he?
said that he would probably have his sprint car there. So
He's
That's
got a
good.
nice looking car. But
Yep. Then the auction, like always, is gonna be on Saturday afternoon at 2 to 4. We got Jay Feathergill and Fred Wolf come in, and they always do a good job. And you guys all been there, they push it right through and have a little bit of fun doing it too. And so we try to keep that time frame so people can do whatever else. Like Shelley's saying, some of us gonna head down to Lima, and
we're gonna try to
So
hit
fair.
both.
Yep.
Tim always is a big supporter, but we can do one day and one the next. But we'll make sure we hit both of them.
I guess probably the biggest thing would be just get out some contact info between him and me. If somebody out there has an item that they want to donate for the auction,
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. This will be recorded, so you can put your
Well,
phone
any-
number on there,
yeah.
or your email address, or whatever you want to do to.
we'll
that.
put the phone number out there. If you've got something that you want to donate to the Injured Drivers Fund, just feel free to give me a call, 419-957-4025.
Give it again.
And 419-957-4025. Call me anytime. I will be around.
I don't know if they heard it or not because you keep beating on the countertop. But
Yeah.
that's all right. That's the kind of stuff we'll work out. We'll write that on there. so
Well,
that
you said to
don't do that
kick
anymore.
rocks down here.
yeah, we and we're getting a lot of good stuff lately. Actually, that Greg was talking about. Don't be on your phone, texting and doing stuff. Yeah, I was Facebooking, texting, and calling all the way here. I know. I only ran 4 cars in the ditch on the way here, but I just got off the phone from one of our connections at Knoxville Speedway, and they're supposedly sending out some more tickets to the Knoxville Nationals again for us this year for the donation of our auction item.
They
and
usually
360.
do a really good job with sending out tickets.
Yep. So
Yeah.
he said it wouldn't be a problem. So we got that. We're getting some big things rolling, and we're working on a deal, which we'll have to talk to Brian and John about. We're just kind of threw together. Got a race car driver that races Waynesfield. We helped a couple guys down there last year at the end of the season, Dustin Ingle and Chad Wilson. And guy don't want his name out there yet till we put it together. But one of their local racers wants to come up with a night, and he wants to put a challenge out there for all the drivers to donate like 10% of their winnings to Hoosville, Ohio that night. So he's committed, his car owner's committed, and he wants to get a bunch of his buddies on board that race there in a bunch of different places. And so we're working on that too. So got a few things cooking besides the auction.
Good deal. So let's since we got you guys here, a lot of people see you on the racetrack, I'm sure, or they will now that you've been on this wonderful show. That
Well,
we're
yeah.
doing. So give me a little bit of background and how you became a race fan, and how you got into racing and doing this Hoserville stuff.
As how I became a race fan, my family, I was born into it. I had two uncles that both ran stock cars. I was around that growing up. So it just kind of went from there. I've just matured into this. As far as Hoserville goes, well, that started over some beer. We were all at
We're the
Fremont.
great
best
ideas.
spot.
All
Yeah,
famous.
yeah, yeah.
We were
Fremont
at
and
Fremont
beer.
drinking beer, and I do believe it was hot laps. And Alvin Rucky flipped in turn 4, and he hurt his ankle that night. And we all said, last year we gave away all that money in Outdoor Speedway for the Mopar Million. We just, out of the blue, we came up with all this money. We ought to use it and do something good with it. Well, that's where Hoosville, Ohio came.
Yeah, and I've been throwing the idea around a little bit before that with a couple other people. Then Greg, I was just getting to know Greg at the time. I mean, we'd known each other for a little bit, but just kind of like you do some race people, hey, hey. But Greg, we've took road trips, and been in weddings, parties, all kind of stuff. So
We
we're
heard
just
some of
getting.
them. We heard some of them stories.
Yeah, they're
Road
famous.
trips before, yeah.
Famous road
We
trips.
can't put those on here, even though it is the internet. They might be a little bit.
No matter what you
rough
hear, I've never crawled out of a sunroof going down the road, no matter what Greg says.
And I never autographed Peyton Manning's forehead on a statue.
But there's stuff like that. So I ran that. And as far as my background, I've been going to race since I've been 17 months old. My grandpa actually helped start Defiance Taylor Speedway in the 40s and 50s. Then he owned, at the time called Modified Coops, race up to Butler Speedway. My dad used to drag race. My uncle, I guess he was the talent of the family. He actually was a national go-kart champ when he was 14. Actually, that's back when IndyCar people was already looking at you. He's getting looked at. Then he got killed in Vietnam, so that was our only guy that was racing in the family. Then my uncle's been, on my mom's side, they've all been going to races since my mom was little. She actually got my dad into the dirt track because my dad was more of drag racing. And my uncle's been a photographer, ARCA, USAC, all that for 50 years almost. And,
Lots of ties.
Yep, and I've just, I've done all kind of things besides Hoosville. You guys know I worked at Attica. We've done radio, TV, worked on cars, and 14 years old was building a sprint car my cousin ran, very sadly ran for 3 years, but that's what I was doing when I was 14. We built our own wings and our own motor, which is kind of scary.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks you guys for coming in. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you got all your information out there and people will recognize you at the racetrack, and if they want to donate, they'll know what you look like, they know what you stand for, and that kind of thing. So,
or if they want to enter the Northern Ohio Sprint Car Show, use the same phone number and give me a call.
Yeah, and we're on Facebook. We got a Hoosville, Ohio deal too. If you don't, some people don't like call, they like email and all that stuff, or you can get a hold of us there too. I've got people. I just talked to a guy from Daytona that's a photographer at Daytona Speedway that talked to me today. Never met him. Got a connection. Actually, a photographer in the area. She hooked us up with him, and he's gonna send some photos of Dale Jr. I guess in Victory Lane. I got a guy out in Iowa I've never met. He's doing a Steve Kinzer deal for us this year, and it's really coming around this year. We're getting people. Well, like Lance DeWeese, we donated to him, and he emailed me the other day and says, "Hey, I got to get something to you this year because I never have." So supposed to be getting some things rolling in.
great.
It's one good thing about the race community. They will step up when it's
Oh, yeah.
when it's time. There's no better people than the people that we get the privilege of working with.
Yep. So we're easy to get a hold of. Like I said, call Greg. You can email us. You can get a hold of us, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah. We'll put a link to the phone number in the Hoserville Facebook page then, so that people can reach on that through this video. So we're going to go to break, and we're going to come back with our second guest, R.J. Willie from the Bowman Auto Group.
In small towns across Ohio, neighbors still wave when you walk by. The local grocer always gives a warm smile, and people shop at the same local businesses they always have for the past 50 years. The Bowman Auto Group has been serving small towns in Ohio since 1956. So why shop in the big city when you can get a better price right in your own town? Bowman won't be beat. Our goal is to sell every vehicle for $200 less than the competition. Let's help our small communities stay strong. Find us at BowmanAutoGroup.com or a small town near you.
diet of taking it up a notch.
That was some mighty fun, right?
Drink Diet Dew, the only diet with dew in it.
All right, we're back. Welcome back to the Last Lap Live. I'm Brian Smith. This is Shelley, this guy over here.
All day long, you're Brian Smith.
All day long. And I have RJ Willie from the Bowman Auto Group on my left side here. Thanks to
RJ.
Hello.
Thanks to Dwayne and Greg for coming in. This is going to be a little different here, I think. RJ is a salesman with the Bowman Auto Group, and he has a tendency to talk a lot. So the longer I can talk and kind of keep him calmed down a little bit, I think the better off we'll be in the long run. But thanks for coming in, RJ.
RJ
Appreciate
Willie was born to be in the spotlight.
That's questionable, but to my mom, if you can hear me okay, give me the thumbs up. She called in when you guys were talking to Dwayne, and she said, I can't hear Shelley. Like everybody else said, we can hear him fine.
We're definitely trying to figure out all this stuff. We're making a camera adjustment right now, as a matter of fact, trying to get everybody in so that we're not all pushed out the side here. Fortunately, we're on TV so that we can do this kind of stuff, and it makes sense.
The best part is you don't have that red light on, so some people, when they're on the air and they see that red light,
Panic. Sheer panic.
Well, there's two blue ones there, so if you need
Yep.
something to make you
I
nervous,
see
go to
the
those.
blue one now.
See, there, we locked him up.
Okay.
Brian's phone's blowing
That's
up
good
over
stuff.
Nervous now.
My phone,
Say.
my phone is blowing up here. I tell you what, we have a lot of producers and directors out there that are trying to make this show go better, and I'm trying to do everything I can. Everything you tell me, I'm on it right here. I'll move in a little bit if I have to for his mom that can't hear me, and I'll move out a little bit for people that think I'm a little bit too loud.
That's okay.
But so RJ, don't look at either one of the two cameras. Just leave them alone. We're talking here. This is
Okay.
We're just kind of
All right, I'm
shooting
ready.
the breeze right here. So, what are you involved in as far as the racing goes? What is your connection to the races, to Fremont Speedway? To just kind of give us an overview of who you are.
Well, we talked about this a lot when I was on Dwight Allen's show a couple years ago, where I think you have to go. And for us, there's 5 in our family, and my dad raced for a number of years, and it was a natural progression to where he took us to the races. I mean, Saturday it was Eldora. Sunday we went to New Bremen, and if you've ever been there, but
I'm not as old as you.
Okay.
That was close before I was around.
There's like a forest, a woods in front of the track, and we'd eat lunch there and get the cooler out, and we'd eat, and then we'd go to the races, and it was a family thing, and that carried over to me, then going to the races later on and taking my family, and that's how it gets started. And I know a lot of people have a lot of other activities that they like to do in their spare time, but as I said 100 times, it's the best value for the money for a family, and it's great entertainment, and I love it. So that's how I got started. So
I don't think you got the memo. I don't know who he's talking to, but you're supposed to come in here and we're gonna talk like we're shooting the breeze while we're waiting in the pit line, and I don't know. There's nobody sitting down there. You can look at us.
I think that might be the piece of toilet paper from my nick on my face that
Yeah,
fell out of my coat pocket.
It's all right. During the break, I got scolded for looking like I was getting my mug shot taken, so I'm supposed to look more at the camera every once in a while. So it all takes some adjustment. We'll get used to it.
We're getting Steven on switching the camera angle a little bit, so something's a little different, and we're not looking right at the same thing.
But again, it's one of those things where you're. I'm not saying it. I don't think it's as hard to get somebody involved in it, and it was a natural progression for me. So I'm the wrong person. Really, the true fan, the non-fan, somebody that went 1 week, and because we invited you, let's go. We're going to the races. I've never been there before. Well, go. I mean, get out of your little comfort zone, get outside the box, and go do something else. And 12 and under is free. Two of your kids get in for free. Are you kidding me? We just spent $60 at the movies last week. Oh, that was just on tickets. Yeah. That's a $110 night. Food, popcorn. So when they go, that's the guy to interview.
We read that.
Well,
we don't go. We don't even understand your analogy.
The analogy is that person gets on and said it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I never knew it could be that much fun, and I could have, and my heart was racing, and I picked the number in the car, and he won the race, and those are the kinds of things that gets people interested in it, and then they go back, and then they're hooked. It's like anything else.
It's getting them there.
It's getting them
it
there.
is.
Once
It's
they're
getting them
there, and they see the value for the money, it's a.
Although we have not had that effect on your Dana.
No, I mean she goes. Last year she went
goes
once.
for the love of RJ. She does not go for the love of dirt.
She's not a fan enough to go every week. Now I could go every week.
You need to give that impassioned speech to her. So she
I do
to
occasionally. She enjoys it, but she doesn't like going every week. She doesn't like having the, she likes doing other things, and so do I. But I mean, if I could, I'd be there every week, and I'm there. I'm there quite a bit. So I enjoy it. I love it. I love the camaraderie with the people that are there, and they're great people. So, and I've been doing it since I've been a kid. I mean, a little kid. So.
And you kind of touched on something we're really working at, trying to get that next generation. You and I, Brian, we were all born into this. We all really didn't have a say.
You packed
not
up and
that
went
I
to
would
the
change
races.
it, but that's what we did. That was our life. But now we're trying to work harder because we have that generation gap where we need to get the kid. We need to find a way to get them to the racetrack and to find that passion that you have and that I have and that Brian has. And that's kind of a struggle right now because kids want to sit at home on they want to be doing it on this, or, So.
And that's that generation, the millennials. They're they got other things that are taken away from their time of being outside playing guns. I mean the old school thing, playing kick the can, hide and seek. They don't do that anymore. I mean it's. Insta
you
chat,
can do it all
Instagram.
On here.
Yeah, you can do it all.
Play that game on here.
You can play it on your phone.
My Lindsay laughs at me because I have a meltdown when I see a kid on a bike because I don't see kids ride bikes anymore. they don't go outside. So to get them to the racetrack, you have your work cut out for you trying to get the kids that weren't born into it or weren't a part of it from birth or from a young child to get out there and really want to do it and really like it like we do.
Now I'll tell you, my son and stepdaughter will go to the races every week if they didn't have anything going on, and they love going. So as long as you can get some of those kids in that 15, 16. And by the way, you taking the tickets to all the local high schools in the county, free tickets for the kids to go. I mean that's a great idea.
It was a huge success too. I was a little apprehensive about it, but. Huge success. We got our Fremont Speedway clean from there. First time
Clyde
ever to a racetrack, and she
Yeah.
fell in love with it with her free ticket, and she ended up coming back running for our Speedway clean and won. So that was tried and true. So,
So Bowman Auto Group, you're with them.
Yes.
How did you get them involved as a sponsor and being a part of the races? Because they're quite a big part. They sponsor the base truck at Fremont and at Attica, correct? And having their night in a box, and they got a lot of things going on there.
And we have a lot of race fans within the group. It was interesting because Rex and Rick Lejeune, I had seen them at the races and kind of talked about it a little bit, and we kind of, I'm not going to say I brokered a deal. I mean, wasn't the big wheel in that, but it got him into the dealership, and
This was in the mid '90s.
this is 90, 95, 96.
At that time, Rex and Rick were promoting the racetrack, correct?
Correct. And we got him a pace truck, and I just remember being up in Buck's office, and he said I think it's a great idea, and I had some. I'm not saying I had some say in it, but I kind of pushed it on him a little bit, and then Rex and Rick kind of cleaned up, and we had a pace truck. That next year, I was down at Clay Kimes' house and helping him. He was welding his trailer, and I was just kind of holding pieces there, and Gene Frankert walked in, and Attica had lost their pace car, which was Western Ford, and it was almost like it was wrote in a book. He walked in and said, "Clay, I don't know what I'm going to do." And, Gene is so, colorful and just a great guy to listen to. And he said, I don't know what I'm going to do, Clay. We lost our pace car. And Clay looked up and said, well, there's the guy from Bowman's that'll get you a pace truck. And he looked at me, and 2 days later, Buck was on board, and that's how it all got started. So, and it's been it's been a wonderful thing as far as getting our name out there, and in an outside the box kind of advertising area. When you're only used to advertising a certain way, having something new presented to you could be intimidating, and we talked about it and jumped right on it, and it's been a huge success for us.
And I think I seen Bauman's did like $1.5 million or something crazy like that of community outreach stuff that you guys really go to bat in the community as a whole, not just at the racetrack. But I was mind boggled by the dollar amount that I seen that Al Bauman's puts out there for charity events. And
there's probably some things that people don't know, but the Bauman raffle, the big Bauman charity raffle, which we've been doing the last 9-10 years, that's garnered almost $700,000 to local charities that basically don't have a budget. We're talking $300, $400, $500 budgets, and then they get a check at the end of the year for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. It's they count on it. Back to the Wild, Scat, Village House, places like that where they're not big. They're not getting the capital that they really need, and that's
right.
So we've been doing that for the last, I think it's been 10 years. So, and that's a huge success. We print the tickets, we pay for the tickets, and we give away a car. And it's not like paying $100 for a ticket to win a Corvette. Right. That money, 100% of it goes to the charities. None of it is allocated to paying for the car first. And some of these raffles, that's what you have. That's 100% donated, and it's been a huge success for us. We started the 305 Invitational, so that was something that we kind of stepped up and did something for the 305 division, and that Jimmy Ford and I worked on that. Bobby Foster got the B-Main sponsor for that. Progressive Plastics. I think the one year when we had Judy Bates and her daughter come in, I called Frenchie Grimes and tried to get those guys in here. We had 75 cars or 80 cars for a 305 race that paid $2,500 to win, and then it ended up being $3,100 to win. We added a little bit more money to it, and that went well for us for a few years. We did that, and
you guys are back on board this year with Fast.
We are.
Yeah.
Excited about that, and actually that just feeds right into having both pace trucks. I mean, these aren't. It wouldn't make sense to be a contingency sponsor with the World of Outlaws.
Yeah.
I'm not saying maybe not the All Stars, the regional series, but the Fast deal is Fremont and Attica, and these are local drivers, and these drivers support a lot of the local businesses that sponsor the Fast series. So and we're a benefactor of that in a big way. So it just made perfect sense to do that. So I'm glad that he did. Yeah. So that's exciting.
That. Yeah.
So.
And you guys have 9 dealerships around the area, correct? From where to where? Where does that fit?
There's obviously two dealerships in Fremont, Bowman Chevrolet Buick and Bowman Chrysler Dodge Jeep, and we have a new franchise, a Chevrolet franchise, which I'll get to that in a minute. Tiffin, we have one store, which is Buick, GMC, Chevrolet. We have 2 stores in Port Clinton, obviously Chrysler Dodge Jeep, and then Chevrolet Cadillac and Buick. That's in Port Clinton. Norwalk, we have 2 stores. We have a Hyundai store, and then we have a Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealer. And then a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, we purchased Genoa Ford and Genoa Chevrolet. So we have Bowman Chevrolet now and Bowman Ford and Genoa. So 9 stores in 9 locations in 5 cities: Fremont, Genoa, Port Clinton, Tiffin, and Norwalk. So, it's we're booming. But success.
I did the whole bio background and had you give me all the info on Bowman's. I like the family feel at Bowman's. I don't care where you go. We've been to your Bowman parties. I come in, y'all feel like family. You make me feel like family. I always like the story that they handpicked Mike. Right? He was a bag boy at a grocery store.
Yeah, Mike's watching too.
What
He's
the family
going,
means
what?
there.
Mike Helzer, who is the GM for the organization, and you could write a book about the guy. I graduated with him. He's been a close friend of mine for a long time, and he was bagging groceries. He was bagging groceries, and Buck asked him if he wanted, basically asked him, offered him a job, and he's the quintessential success story. He went from bagging groceries to cleaning cars to working in parts, did a little bit of service work until he bugged Buck enough to let him sell cars, and then he was number 1 for many years, and then from there he just he's Buck's right hand man. I mean, he does a wonderful job with the organization, and he started at as low as you can get in a car dealership. So the story I love and that's a great story, and I wish he would tell it. I wish he would go to the schools and do that. I've spoke at Fremont Ross for a couple years in a row at their I don't know what class it is. It's their leadership class, and Mike's son wanted him to do it a couple years ago, and he wouldn't go. But it's a huge message for someone that may not have a high self-esteem, may not think that, they've been put down for years and years that they can't do this, they can't do that, and then they end up doing it. So I know I'm not going to make this the Mike Helzer love show, but
I wanted to throw it out there because he's such a big supporter.
Well, there's somebody could be watching tonight that
Right.
goes, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm sweeping a floor, for God's sakes." Hey, you could end up being a GM of a company. And that's the story that needs to be told too. But the thing that I'm most proud of is that the majority of the employees here, an average of 10 years, I would say 8 to 12 years at a dealership, and that's unheard of. So there's a lot of turnover in the car industry, in a car dealership, and to have that many employees that have been there, I can name, and right now, literally, I could name off 15 names that have been there, that have been in the organization more than 15 years.
Yeah.
So that's a testament to Buck and what he's continued on from his dad, and it's really built a success story. So.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you for coming in and being our sponsor spotlight today. Bowman's been a great partner for Fremont Speedway for many years, and hopefully for many years to come. And I'm sure people will see you around the races because you're there, whether you're dressed as a man or a woman. We never know, but we're just glad you came in to be a part of the deal.
I appreciate you guys having me. It's
right.
a great idea.
Thank you very much, Arde.
Thanks, Shelley.
We're going to take a break, and then we will be back with our final guest of the day, John Ivy.
So deep in your eyes, I touch you more and crazy right now, you touch, got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. You kiss, got me hoping you save me right now.
Hi, can you tell me how to get back to the interstate? 2 stop signs and then make a right at the light. A left at the light? Thank you. I get that a lot.
Yeah. All right, welcome back to the last lap. I'm Brian Smith, and that's Shelley Liskai all day long. I got that right. And we're here with John Ivy, our 305 champion, and our dirt truck champion from the past year, correct?
Yes,
First
sir.
time anybody's ever won 2 championships, 2 different divisions in the same year. So I am still getting production notes here. Apparently, I made RJ Willie sound like a cross-dresser. I'm not. I won't deny it. I'm not going to say it's true. I'm not going to deny it. I just leave that where it is. But John, thanks for coming on. You're our first driver guest.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, we needed somebody that could talk and would make us look a little better.
Hopefully, I can do that. All right.
Well, I guess it kind of depends on the questions that we ask you. This is all my notes here. It says John Ivy and then a space and then break. So I don't have a whole lot of questions for you. I'm hoping that
I got the notes.
I'm hoping she warmed up and she's
right,
got
I'm
some
ready.
good questions for you. So, like I said, we're trying
take it easy on you.
to make it a deal where we're just talking and not looking into the camera. So don't look into the cameras like RJ was, and don't eat the microphone like he was either, because then it kind of makes us look
Kind of
stupid.
hard for me because I'm not as tall as RJ. So.
I was feeling I had to get off
Yeah.
my chair because I'm a little taller. No.
You want to sit on a chair? Oh, it's always a short joke with you. We can't help it. It just comes out.
I'm used to it by now.
So congratulations on winning the chili cook-off.
It wasn't me.
You carried it in. I actually opened the door for him, so I know he carried it in, so he could have passed it off as his.
I did have 2 hours in it Saturday morning getting it heated up and getting it ready, but Joey did all the hard work, and I asked him if he wanted me to help him, and he says, nope, I got it. So I don't think he wanted me to know what he was doing.
So you have no idea what was in it?
I don't have a clue.
I had some of it. It wasn't quite as spicy as some of the other ones, but it was good.
I didn't get to try it. Sorry, John.
It's all right.
Was that made in the wok by any chance?
No, it wasn't made in the wok.
No magic wok chili.
It was talked about it over a couple of nights at the Magic
At
Wok.
the wok. I got you.
Is that like those good stories that starts out by having a beer at the racetrack afterwards?
Afterwards in the front yard, and we burned the alcohol, and I got a stainless steel salad bowl. We burned the racing alcohol, and it puts out a pretty blue flame. It's pretty neat,
Yeah.
actually. Don't go home smelling like smoke from all the wood, or we have a good time.
See, I was kind of a newcomer to this whole tin can magic wok thing that they were always talking about. And every night we'd be like, you want to stop over for this magic wok thing? And I'm like, I don't know, Chinese cooked out in the yard. I'm not really into it. Here it's a pot. It's a big silver, it looks like a salad bowl. And they dump their alcohol in it and they sit around, everybody warms up around it. It's kind of cool.
It's something different,
Magic wok.
you know. I mean, yeah, like I said, you don't got to worry about fire, and it's kind of cool to hear the wood snap and cracking, but then it's flying in your face, and you go home stinking like burnt wood and whatever.
And this way you smell like the
don't have
races.
to. Yeah, you're still smelling alcohol.
Yeah, that's good. I actually use that. I have a wood burning stove now in my garage that I heat it with when I'm working on a race car. But a couple of years ago, before I got that, I'm a Volkswagen owner, of course, and I have a couple of Volkswagen hubcaps, and I put them on top of some front tires, and I'd fill them up, light them up, and then it'd be blue, rocket flames coming out of them, and it would shake the chill off. So I could.
Frankie Kerr showed us that one year at the Racers Flea Market. He had them going in his trailer. We just went overboard and went with a bigger boat. Some little thing, they don't last as long as the big bot. You dump 2.5 gallons in there, it'll burn for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
As long as you don't have it closed up. We were burning trash out of my dad's house one time, and I took a couple gallons of that, and I poured it into the wood barrel and lit it on fire, and it went up like a big explosion, caught the whole field on fire. My dad was out there with a garden hose trying to put the fire out.
You gotta stand back, yeah. I got one of them long lighters about yay long where you can go like this and light it, and you're good. And keep everybody away from it. That's the hardest part a lot of times.
Yeah.
They get too close, or then we're in trouble. But
you always have a fire extinguisher on hand, I'm sure.
No,
Yeah, okay, good. No, that
Just
makes it
a
more
bunch of
interesting.
feet. Hurry up, stomp on it. Yeah, that don't work.
Shelly?
John, I did not know you were a roller skater.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know this either.
I learned all kinds
Before
of
I
stuff
started
about John. I
racing,
did
that was
too.
every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was roller skating.
Really? Did
yeah.
you have like a headband on?
No, I
and
didn't go that
long
far.
hair?
But I did have my own
Disco
skates,
pants
and
out
I
here
had
outside of town?
Oh yeah, I had the skate covers for over top of my skates. And,
See, we went to Bradner and did that.
well,
stuff.
see, I did that too one time. I still got a scar over top
They
of
got,
my
they
eye
got a
from
little
when I fell
scary at
down.
Bradner sometimes, though. They're a little rougher crowd in
Oh,
Bradner.
I used to love roller skating.
So when's the last time you roller skated then? And what's it going to take to get you back on roller skates?
Oh, it wouldn't take nothing at all. I'd be willing to go anyway. I think last time I went was probably 8-9 years ago. I don't know.
Oh, we're still going roller skating.
You tell me when, I'll be there.
Not rollerblading, right? The
No,
four-wheel
they gotta
roller
be on
skates?
4 wheels. I tried that straight line stuff. It don't work. No.
We got to make that happen somehow.
Oh yeah.
We're still trying to get him to the square dance. John's a square dancer too.
Going.
Jack of all trades.
Going.
Can you square dance on roller skates?
No, I don't think that would happen.
No,
That wouldn't be good. Somebody'd end up getting hurt, especially when you start swinging them around. That wouldn't be good.
We need a camera there. We need to do that and have a camera there.
We said last winter we were going to go square dancing, and we never made it. So this year.
I think we already got the date set, if I'm not mistaken.
There's one coming up.
Hey,
Wow.
I'm ready. I mean, it's tech racing. I'll do anything. I have fun at it.
Yeah,
That's one thing about John. He always has fun.
I agree with that.
I've not once seen John not have fun.
Might be this weekend. I don't know.
What do we got going on this weekend?
I'm going racing.
Oh, where are we going racing at?
Columbus.
Oh, okay. Indoor
Go-kart
stuff?
Yeah. Kelsey gets to racing, so have to see if we can get her going fast.
So are you going as a driver or are you going as
both?
Oh, okay.
I'll have to, run how many 5-6 classes probably, and she's going to run 2 or 3. And we got a team race we're doing Friday night, and it ought to be interesting.
You won a kart race earlier this year already, didn't you? Or the end of last year?
We've won 4 out of the 5 that we've raced at up in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Is that Birch Run? Is that Birch Run?
Birch Run. There was Birch Run, Grand Rapids. There's 2 other ones. I don't remember exactly where they were, but that Birch Run was a fun deal. That racetrack was probably as big as this room right here.
Yikes. You don't take many weekends off during the off season.
Not many, no. Like I said, we did quite a bit of racing up in Michigan this year. We only had a couple. Well, we had one earlier at Columbus, and then this is the last one at Columbus. Usually there's 3 or 4, but usually, then we got the Fort Wayne deal where we do the 600. I usually don't take much time off. I get a few weeks off, but that keeps me sharp.
Is Kels your teammate?
No, no. I think she's doing all girls deal, or I don't even know if they're doing it this year. But it's me, Daniel Huffman, Sean Cluck, and forget the last one's name. It was supposed to be Paul Weaver, but he backed out on us. He says he's too old and can't see no more. So.
No.
Do you still race the karts at Fort Wayne?
No, I quit doing that about 4 years ago after the last time they got put in the wall. I said, "There's enough of this for me."
Just
They're
that's a
too
fast place.
There.
Yeah.
They go faster than we are in the 600s. And
Oh, really?
I don't. I'm too. It takes too long to heal up anymore.
How did you build a new 600? You dominated for a while in one of Kid Henry's 600s, and then you built a new one, which was faster out of the box, right?
Yeah, we've been pretty good. Just haven't had the finishes we want. We got a couple seconds, and we were always leading this year on Saturday night. And like 3 laps to go, the motor quit on us, and so it's just been one of them deals. That's a tough deal down there, I mean, everybody's kind of trying to do everything that they can, and
it's changed quite a bit.
They ain't nowhere near like it was when we first started. I mean, we first started, we probably had the smallest motor there, but had the best working car.
Right.
Now we got the best working car and probably the littlest motor. It's fun, it keeps you busy. I mean, and that deal there is a tough deal because it takes, 3-6 weeks to prepare for 2 nights. Well, if you want to count Thursday night practice, but I mean, it's still fun, Gives you something to do, get to hang out with everybody.
How long does it take you to recuperate after that from the fumes and all that?
Man, this year it was bad. Usually I don't have any issues, but man, I'm thinking it was probably 3 days this year afterwards that I was hurting pretty bad. But I think I went in already sick, and that definitely doesn't help you any. So, but usually it's not that bad. But
you guys want to race?
That's part of it.
Yeah, you don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. I know if you just go there, and if you don't go very often, it kind of hits you. But if you're used to it,
yeah,
I guess it's not too bad.
You got a couple of the girls graduating this year, both of them, right? Kelsey and will Jill graduate from? Where's she at up there?
Baker.
Yeah.
She's
getting close.
June. I think I just did see a post on Facebook that she was filling the paperwork out or something.
That's
like
cool.
that. I'm always the last one to know on that.
That way, when she becomes a physical therapist and you feel like that when you come home.
Yeah, she already takes care of her sister. I just heard that story this weekend. She was home this weekend, Jill was, and said as soon as I walked in the door, Kelsey went right to the floor and said, "Jill, help."
That's good planning right there for getting old. Yeah. I like that. My wife's at home watching. We might have to think about that. I have to get one of the girls into physical therapy.
Jill did it all through high school. You know, Doc Hershey kind of took her under his wing, and she did it all through high school, and she loved it. And I told her, I said, if it's something you love, go for it. I mean, you can go about anywhere you want to in that deal there if you've got the right, training and you really want to do it. It'd be up to you where you want to go. So she seems to like it, so have at it.
So you got 4 girls. Couldn't get it right any of the times. Much like me, I tried 3 times and couldn't get it right. But what do you see in your younger 2? I know Kelsey is she's doing some race car driving, and she's a softball player, and she plays volleyball, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She was playing basketball, I think.
She quit that and just went down to 2. Now she's going to college in Muskegon, but she's going to play softball there. I think she's just going to do the one there for that deal.
Fantastic softball player.
The other 2, I'm not sure. They keep saying they want to race and they want to, do it, but they haven't showed me that they want to yet. But Kaylee did the other night. I had her over in the shop with me last night, actually. I had her grinding the paint out of the Nerf bars on the race car, and she was blowing the tires up for Kelsey for the go-kart, getting everything all right. I was like, okay then. Kelsey, you might be losing your ride.
Then there's little Jamie. She's the cheerleader.
Yeah, she's the cheerleader, tumbler. Yeah, I'm thinking she's
she
probably
makes
gonna.
Bracelets.
Yeah, she's gonna go with something like that. She says she wants to race too, but I don't know. Doing all that tumbling, though, I might be afraid to put her in something.
Yeah, she might get used to it. Develop a kind of a system there where she's flipping stuff over. So, all right. Well, we're moving in on 8:00, so I think we made it through our first show.
We did.
Three
we
good.
all survived.
Yeah, we made it. Hopefully, it was watchable and entertaining, and everybody talked enough to where we didn't have to talk the entire time.
No dead space.
So I want to thank John for coming in.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break here. We'll come back and we'll close the show, and night 1 will be in the books.
Perfect.
When it's time to say goodbye to your current vehicle, hop online to BowmanAutoGroup.com or visit the Bowman dealership nearest you. We've been serving the people of Ohio since 1956. With over 800 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles of every make and model at our 6 locations across northern Ohio, finding your next vehicle is easy. And if the vehicle you like isn't nearby, we can bring it to the Bowman store nearest you. Or shop online 24/7 at BowmanAutoGroup.com. Then visit the Bowman dealership in your town. Bowman won't be beat.
All right, we're back. I almost forgot. John reminded me here. This is something we're going to do with our drivers, just so that, like if you go to Tony Paco's in Toledo, they have hot dog buns that people autograph, and then you can look through all the people that have autographed, and it's kind of a neat deal. And there's different places where you go in and you see maybe a dentist's office. You see the pictures of all the kids that have their braces and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to this little segment here. It's having a ball with art. See what I did there? A little bit of play on words with the all-time feature winner at Fremont Speedway. I'm going to give Johnny I here a Sharpie and a handy-dandy notebook, and he's going to draw a picture of his race car. And then he's going to make sure he gets his number on it. Now, he's got 2 choices. He can do a truck or he can do a sprint car. Probably not a mixture of both, but he's got 1 minute.
That's what it's going to look like.
We're going to have him draw it. But we're going to have him draw it while it's sitting on his head. So this ought to play good on video, I hope. You people are watching this. And we're going to have him autograph it, and it'll be hanging out here in the office. So, as we get going, it'll get better because there'll be more out there. So, Steven, I got a minute right here I can do on my timer. And we'll see how this goes. If it doesn't work and it's a miserable failure, then it's on me and whatever. But we're going to try it and see if it's at least funny the first time. So flip that over right there.
You want it on that?
Yeah, right on that side right there. There you go.
Okay.
All right. When I say go ahead and start drawing. Go. So John is multi-talented. He can roller skate. He can
square dance.
He can square dance.
He can win a truck championship
Right.
and a sprint car championship.
And he can carry the winning chili into the chili cook-off.
Forgot the chili.
So we're gonna find out if he can draw here. I'm not sure which one he's drawn yet. He's
He's getting it.
Well, is that it? Are you finished already? Because you had a minute. It took you like 22 seconds. You might want to work on that. Let me thank a few people here. I want to thank Chris Kaiser for setting up this the sound that we have here. Brian Atulo for work on websites and all kinds of different things involved with this. Stephen Pocock over there, he is our operator that runs the cameras and the sound and making sure that we show up on screen when we're supposed to. And obviously I want to thank Rich Farmer, the promoter at Fremont Speedway, for putting this deal together and talking Shelly and I into doing this. We had fun. This is the first time. We'll see based on comments if we're going to come back and do this again. But let's take this drawing right here. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to walk this up to the camera and we'll put this right here in front of the camera. John, is that the truck?
I don't know.
It's a winged truck.
I'm not sure if that's a truck or a sprint car.
I ain't sure neither.
So
I told you my drawing skills is about the worst I got.
Well, that's really nice.
8i, and that's supposed to be 00.
Well, that's good. There is. I think you drew them both at the same time. But so do me a favor and autograph that for me, and we'll hang that up on the wall. So I want to thank everybody out there for watching, and hopefully we'll be back next Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday night, Chris Andrews, Scott Gressman, and you're going to want to catch this one, Rich Farmer, on the Fairboard and Kroger sale, I believe.
He has a Fairboard meeting on Monday, and we'll probably get into that stuff.
Tossing that around a little bit next week, so you'll want to get that one.
Right. So thank you, Shelly.
Thank you, Brian.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Have fun.